Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hey, another video for you guys and gals today. In our last video, we installed the Redman Studios motherboard and we got that ready for the end of the project. But today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the 3D printed parts, how I finished them, what was painted, what their functions are gonna be. And then we're gonna get into the Cyclotron lid and how to take it apart because we gotta get that apart too for the GPStar LEDs and other things we're gonna be putting into that lid. So let's get into all that right now. Today, I'm just going to be showing you the 3D printed parts we have, what they're going to be, the finished product, like what they're going to look like or what they're supposed to be on the pack. And then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to them. And then with movie magic, you know, I'll do one of these and all of these will be finished. Because I don't think any of you want to see the painting process because I'm no good at it. I'm gonna just mess everything up. So I'll probably just cut to everything being done after I explain to you what everything is. So we'll start with the stock pieces that we're going to paint and kind of fancy or pretty up a little bit. We're gonna take the Cyclotron apart as a part of the GPStar kit. So we're just gonna do that as well today just to show you how to get into this, because we need to remove these because we're going to spray paint those. We're going to paint that with some spray paint. I got a color I want to try to use, and then we have to take it apart anyway for the LED swap out. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get we have a ribbon cable coming to replace this, which is supposed to be a ribbon cable, but just plastic molded on here. So we're going to get that swapped out. And then the inner workings of the Cyclotron, we're gonna get these off of here. We're gonna repaint some stuff on this, kind of add some more detail to it and make it look a little bit more movie accurate, but you know, more so from my imagination too. So wanted to look nice, look good, and then we'll get into the 3D printed parts. So for the wand, we're just gonna get that done too, since we'll be working all this. I've got a grip to remove the fake tape from the Spangler wand, and then one of the parts at the front of the gun, I don't remember what it's called, but we're gonna do this. It's a little swap out kit. Our USB card is gonna be extended into this part, and then that'll just be accessible from the front of the wand, so we won't have to get into the wand to swap out the SD card. No, first up for the Proton Pack is going to just be the Cyclotron inner working. So I have the aluminum Cyclotron from GPStar, but it comes bare bones, nothing in there. I got a acrylic piece cut to fit inside there. A friend of mine had that cut out on his laser cutter for me, so we'll have a clear acrylic lid that goes in there so we can still see everything that's going into this. I got a 3D printed Cyclotron that I was going to use originally, and it came with all the files that you see here on the table. But when I got that, I decided to kind of mix the two. So I'm going to take some of the parts that were for the 3D printed one, and we're going to retrofit those to fit inside the GPStar aluminum Cyclotron. So we're going to have to modify these a little bit so they fit around the center post. Paint these up. This is the inner walls of the Cyclotron. We're going to have to make some modifications to it so it'll fit around the inside of that a little better. We have to remove some material here. I've already pre-marked everything. I have to remove material here to allow these to sit flush at the bottom of the Cyclotron inside like that. We're going to paint these up, make them look a little more realistic. And then we have to remove a little bit more further up to accommodate the LED ring that we're putting in there from the GPStar kit. So we'll paint these up and make them look a little bit more movie accurate, and then make them so it'll fit better inside the Cyclotron and get all that fixed up, and that'll be done. And then we're going to do the ion arm next. I'll show you what that is. So the stock ion arm is where our switch is. And we're going to get rid of the stock plastic one from HasLab. We've got a different switch as well, so we're going to use this one. It's a little more robust, a little more bright colored, and has a little bit better of a click to it. So our new ion arm is going to have a little more functionality to it. So this will be the base of it that will slide, mount to the pack itself. This part here will hold the fake PCB that we're going to detail and paint. I had this printed in a translucent green just to kind of make it look a little more realistic at the base. Once I paint all this other stuff up, it might look a little bit more realistic. And we're going to try to add a couple LEDs to this as well, so that we have some functionality inside of this. And then these go inside of this, and then this part will actually slide down, over and around it. And then we'll have just our ion arm at the front there. And then that'll be our finished look there. So this will be able to come off and show off a little more functionality inside of the ion arm, which will be kind of neat to see and interact with for a little more interactiveness. And then we've got the booster tube. I've already kind of started working on how to sand and finish this to try to make it look a little more realistic. I'm gonna reprint this actually, just because this was actually not the right size. So the guy that made the files and I have worked together. He got the new files sent over. We're gonna print those out today, and hopefully get that over here and get that started as well. But this is just here as practice for right now to show off what we're gonna do. And then this is one of the other mounting points for the booster tube. And then this piece here is all multiple parts right now, but it will be one unit. And this will slide inside the booster tube. It's basically like the fuel for the Proton Pack inside the booster tube. That'll probably be it for this part of the video. And when you see me again, everything will be complete. Oh, didn't work. Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Whoa, look at that, the YouTube trick worked. I slapped my hands and everything is different now. It only took 3 weeks, but it's done. Kind of go through a quick little rundown of what we did. We have the cyclotron not completely done yet. The cake, I've got our 3D print resin cleared tubes on the sides. They should be delivered today actually. And then I painted the inside here, as you can see, some copper and gold and silver around the bottom with our LED ring here around the inside perimeter. So that's not totally done yet, but we're close, so we're making the video. And then for the end filter, just a little color on there, kind of make it look different, kind of like that. And then we've got the cyclotron inner workings, where you can tell here all the molded plastic. I have gone ahead and painted it to look more realistic. I've got some gold accents in here, some chrome accents, red wires, all the different wires on the bottom there. Just make it look a little better. Went ahead and painted our new panel here on the inside for our switches and lights that'll be in there. And then we've got our booster tube finished up with our booster tube insert. And this will go into our booster tube. So this will slide in. And then, looks just like a normal booster tube, but then it'll actually have a little functionality to it. We're going to try to also add a couple LEDs to here, so that'll be kind of neat. So that'll be good. That's almost done. And then we've got the cyclotron lid with no lenses. Those are coming in the mail today, so this isn't quite done yet. I went ahead and found some 90-degree BNC cables. They're not movie accurate, but they are BNC cables. And if you look here, I actually got them to where they will function. So you can actually take them apart, put them back together, and they actually clip into place. So that's pretty sweet. Just a couple little chrome and gold accents in there, little extra color, nothing too special. We still got to put this ribbon cable around the inside, but as you can tell, it'll look way better than that stock plastic piece that's in there. Then we get on to the CRT emitters. I got a kit here from Dragon Workshop on Etsy. Great little kit here, little brass fit. Let's see here, I'll show you. Got some brass pieces, just a little more copper coloring, some chrome, a little more color, a little more pop to it. And then the most difficult part that I've been working on for probably close to a week in my spare time now is the ion arm. So this is a multi-part construction here. I didn't use the 3D print that came in the files. I found an old motherboard from a computer that was like in my garage for 10, 15 years. And I cut a piece of the motherboard out and it actually fit perfect in there, made it fit. It looks really, really cool. So yeah, you can tell here, real computer parts look a little better than painted by hand parts. So you got that part there, and then the rest of the ion arm with real resistors and things on it. And then this slides down. Let's see if I can do this without looking. Yeah, so then this will slide onto this. I got magnets in there, so it locks in pretty good. I don't think magnets were actually in the file, but I drilled little holes and added them in, so it's just more secure, less rattles. But yeah, we got our new switch installed. We've got our real elbow, real tubing here. Looks really good. And that'll go on. We got real cap head screws. They're not flush mount, but that's fine. I like the way they look. A little more mechanical and industrial. And then I think that's it. I think we're caught up on all the parts that have been printed and painted and worked on. Got our panel here for our 2 talent cell batteries and our SD card and USB-C charging port. A couple switches for future proofing perhaps. And then that's about it. And we will now get into finishing the cyclotron lid. Let's do that. Alrighty then, we are back, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to get into how we are going to take apart the cyclotron cover. I'm going to have to sit down for this one because this is going to be a little nerve-wracking, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together one way or another. So what we need to do here is, I've already removed the screws in our breakdown video. So I removed these 2 screws and the one inside the end filter here. So what we need to do now is get around the edge. And what I'm going to use here, I got this multi-tool. What we're going to do is we have to pry between the body of the cyclotron and the lid. Now, we have to get in here. Gotta really try to get in this thing. Get underneath this. All right, now there's these little plastic tabs in here, and we have to break them. So I've got this claw hammer here, and I'm just going to see if I can get this claw under here and maybe give me the right kind of force I need to pop that off. There we go. We got it. We got one. Okay, so now I'm just going to see if I can slide this around to the next one. Ow. Damn. All right, so maybe not. Try again. Don't give up after one failure. There we go. And if you're looking for the reference points to what we're popping off here, these little blue pieces of tape, John O'Gunn on YouTube has a perfect little tutorial video on how to do this. So just real light, boom, pop. Pull this around. That one doesn't want to go. Okay, just don't force it. Be patient. Take your time. That one's not wanting to pop. I don't know why. It's got to be close though. There we go. There we go. Okay. Whew, that one was nerve-wracking. All right, so that one, folks, is actually a little bit off from my tape mark here. So that one is actually right there. That way, if you're looking for a reference point where they're going to be, this is more accurate up to this point. So now we're going to go one more on this. Two more. There we go. Whew, man. That is nerve-wracking. And one more. There we go. Okay, so that is all 6 of those popped. Now this should just lift out of here. Ah, there we go. We did it. We did it. We did it, folks. Now, I'm gonna do the extra mile that when you go to put this back together, a lot of people I've watched their videos, they say it holds together pretty well. It stays together just fine because there are parts holding it together with the screws and whatnot. But there is a way to drill these holes out to an appropriate size to accommodate. We have pilot holes basically all the way around that we can just drill holes through. And then we can go from this side with a flush mount cap head screw of some kind to add a little bit more of a mechanical look to it, but also add some security to it in the future. So, and easy to take back apart. Now that this has been broken, that's the worst part. You never have to do that apart again. So that part's done. So then we're gonna get into the electronics. When we do our GPStar install, we'll be replacing these LED pucks. We're going to put in new LEDs and reinforce these what were glued in things, but now we're just going to put screws in. So let's get this phony ribbon cable out of here. There we go. Fake ribbon cable out. Cyclotron lid destroyed. My stress levels have peaked. I think I've had enough fun for the day. I think this is where we're going to leave it, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow in the next Proton Pack upgrade video.